It's your boy Simba Savi back again with another video. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like and comment. Today, I've got another banger for you guys. Let's get into it.
The amount of stuff you can get away with if you're attractive is literally so insane, and everyone talks about women pretty privilege, but no one ever talks about guy pretty privilege.
I always appreciate it when women understand the different ways that they treat different types of men. Guy pretty privilege is another word for hypergamy. So first of all, I'd like to thank her for noticing. And second of all, I have a few stories for you to try to encourage you to maybe move up a few notches if possible. But first, listen to how she understands. It's therapeutic.
I think if the unattractive guys tried to do the things that attractive guys did to girls, they would be called out for harassment.
Yeah, exactly. This girl from an old video said, don't catcall me unless you're attractive, and then she said it was a joke, which means it's kinda true.
But if an attractive guy did what unattractive guys did, it would be considered cute.
This is where my stories come in. I did some not very cute things that went over just fine.
The line between sexual harassment and oh, he's cute, oh, and then he said this, is how you look as a man, how attractive you are, your status. If she wants you for your money, everything you say is going to be funny. If she wants you for your looks, everything you say is going to be cute. If she doesn't find you attractive, my G, and you try to be cute with a girl, doesn't matter if it's at work, doesn't matter if it's in public, these are the guys that girls complain about and talk about. I don't want anyone approaching me in the gym. I'm just trying to work out. I don't want anyone approaching me in the road, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that is because most guys who approach girls are not attractive, especially physically. You understand? If a girl finds you attractive, bro, everything you're gonna say is gonna be cute. That's just the truth. And she's acknowledging it.
Like, attractive guys have kind of like a act like an asshole card that they could use whenever they want because they have a pretty face. And they have unlimited ways on how to hit on women without being a creep.
Yeah, you can say quite a wide range of things and it will be okay, but only as long as she feels like this about you. This is a drawing of me when I was at my most attractive and a relationship that I had during that time where I did nothing and she did more than she should have. This is a time
when you are attractive, right? When a girl perceives you to be attractive, this is where you hear girls complain about, oh, I paid for things, I was using my money. Because when you are actually attractive as a man, you don't even need to bring money to the table. And attractive guys don't get this. They think they have game, but their game is genetic. If you read evolutionary biologists, they look at things like attraction from an evolutionary level. Why are women attracted to this from an evolutionary level? Why are men attracted to this? So, for example, women are attracted to taller guys because of the protection, right? In the old days, a guy being tall meant a better fighter, a better protector, right? So there's something in their brain that clicks when a guy is tall, right? So, and also the reason why men like attractive men, tall men, is also for the genetics of the children. So when you are approaching a woman, something in a subconscious is looking at what kind of kids can I make with this man? Oh, I'm going to make great warriors, big, tall, big children, good looking children, you know, rare eyes. All these things play a role in what a woman or even a man also perceives to be attractive. But it's just that men find a whole different category of things attractive. Height is not one of them, right? So the guy pretty privilege actually exists. There are things that you can get away with as a man if you are attractive. There are things you can say and do, and there are things you don't need to do if you are attractive. You don't need game if you're attractive, right? So we're just gonna do a small tangent and come back to this video, and I'll show you what guy pretty privilege looks like.
Good. Okay, I'll call you back in 1 second.
Hey, come here.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What's your name?
King.
King. I like that. There you go.
All right.
Have a great dinner.
All right, you too.
This is what guy pretty privilege looks like. He had to just hand her a phone and she put the number. She was already bubbling down there for this guy, dripping for this guy. Listen, when you're 6'7" and you look like that, you look like a Greek god. That is a modern woman's kryptonite. Not even a modern woman's. That's just a woman's kryptonite. You don't need to do much. All you need to do is dress well, go to the gym. That's it. Get a bunch of tattoos. And you can run through all of them. You don't even need money at this point. So attraction is also something. This is why I say going to the gym alone, it doesn't matter what height you are. It's going to improve you. If you are a 4, it's going to make you a 5 or 6. If you are a 5, it's going to make you a 6 or 7. For some guys, it can even bump you up 2-3 points, right? While other things are also important. This is why I encourage guys, get in shape, look good, be the best version of yourself, right? Let's get back to our video reaction.
Line of that relationship. I had a crush on this girl when I was 11, and she pretty much ignored me until after college when I lost weight and got in shape. And she sent me a suggestive message on Facebook where she saw my pictures, and we began a certain kind of relationship. And eventually, she let me know that she had been cheating on a different guy with me. And I said, well, that's a bad idea. You should probably either have a boyfriend or have fun, and you should pick one. And so she did. She got rid of him and said, now we can be together. And I said, well, that's not part of the deal. This guy's just going to be me later. And she said, oh, darn, and continued seeing me anyway. And also, I had no money and she had money, so she paid for everything while I continued to see other girls on the side. That's how much difference this can make. If you can cross this line, you're going to experience quite a big power differential.
So the thing is, guys, we need to understand that we're in a competition. Women don't want to accept that they are in a competition. They want to do however and behave however. Fair and fine, let them be like that. But as a man, you need to understand that it's a competition for everything that you want. It's a competition for the girl that you want, the car that you want, everything, right? So guys don't buy nice cars, bro, because they just want to buy nice cars. Guys buy nice cars to peacock and separate themselves from other men. It brings them better networking opportunities, more business, more money. More money means what? More women, bro. Everything we do is for reproduction at the end of the day, if you really deep it. Women don't just dress half naked for nothing. They want attention, even if they don't realize it consciously. Same thing with guys. We compete on a whole different stratosphere of things. So if you get in the gym and you're in shape, trust me, you are going to get more attention than the guy that's big and is out of shape. He's gonna have to do more. He has to bring money and probably have to drive a better car than you. But if you equalize everything, she's gonna pick the guy that's in shape. So it's a competition. Are you being the best version of yourself? How are you competing with the men around you? And it doesn't have to be an unhealthy competition where I'm saying, oh, now be depressed and you know, make it toxic. No, but you need to be improving and you need to be elevating yourself. By default, you are beating most men because most men are not at the gym. Most men are not looking for money. Most men are not networking. Most men don't have businesses. So by just being a better man, the byproduct of that is that you're just going to date better quality women. And you're going to be able to do less in terms of chasing and, oh, you need to buy flowers and you need to do this when you're an attractive guy, bro. You don't need to do all that, bro. Let's continue.
Unattractive guys have to be more slow about it. They have to be more nonchalant and sneaky about hitting on. Unattractive guys have to be more slow about it. They have to be more nonchalant and sneaky about hitting on a girl.
Sneaky, okay, we used to call that getting to know someone. When you're familiar with somebody, it becomes easier to create that bond. And maybe you as an individual can work your way out of it, but you can't have everyone works their way out of it, because if they did, and everybody became more attractive, women would just reevaluate this into another one of these. There would be 80% of the guys who made it would be reevaluated into the didn't make it zone. And those guys have no choice. They have.
That's just the truth. If everyone self-improved, then women would just choose from that level going up. something else is going to be more important at the end of the day. The reason why self-improvement has value is because most people don't have the things that it requires for you to self-improve. The reason why a six-pack has value is because most men don't have a six-pack. The reason why money has value is because most men don't have it. The reason why driving a fast car has value in the dating market is because most men don't have it. The reason why charisma has value is because most men don't have it and will never work on it. So everything that is into self-improvement of you as a guy, most men are not willing to do it. Most men might not even have the resources to do it. Most men might not have whatever it is, the reason why they are not doing it. Most people don't have that. That's why it's going to elevate you. But the thing is, with very attractive men, is they don't need to do all that. If you're just born tall, handsome, you don't need to do much. And that's, life is unfair. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, you find that attractive men are very few and far in between. That's why once you're attractive as a man, once you're making money and you're attractive, you can have any girl you want, because they are very few, whereas beauty is common. So no matter how much ego a girl wants to have, as long as you are at the top echelon of man, you will always have the leverage, because beautiful women are common, bro. You can literally get a version of her anywhere. That's just how it is. Women only have leverage on average men and guys that are below them. The more choices you have as a man, the better you are, the more leverage you have, because beautiful women are still going to flock to you. As you can see from this graph, women flock to the top men.
Have to get familiar with women first. Otherwise, they just get completely left out, and that's why the world is looking more and more like this. People don't get to know each other anymore, and if you try, women will call it sneaky. That's the one thing she said that I didn't like.
They also can't be arrogant and rude, where a lot of attractive guys get away with being rude.
That's me. I used to be rude. I was so bitter after I found out the difference between how people treat you when you move from here to here that I actually made a game out of what is the rudest thing that I can say to someone who I know already likes me before she doesn't like me anymore, and I never found it. I wrote a few of them down, but I don't feel safe showing you. I played other games too. I once met a girl on the computer. I went to her place 3 times without ever telling her my name. And then on my way out the door the 3rd time I said, "Are you gonna ever ask me my name or what?" And she said, "I didn't want to offend you." Like I was gonna say, "Whoa, you're moving a little fast, aren't we?" No, I'm not encouraging any of this behavior. This is degenerate. The only reason I did it is because I was bitter, because I couldn't be liked without being likable. I didn't want to put in the work to get out of this area, and when I finally did, I still felt like this on the inside, and I said, "Oh, now it's my turn to do this to someone else." And that
The truth is, bro, it's subconscious. The less attractive you are as a person, the more you make up for it by trying to be nice, by trying to, you overcompensate in some way. This is where you see that guys who are unattractive and have money tend to compensate by splashing money and tricking. Whereas even if a guy has money, but if he's attractive, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to really pay girls' bills, and if a girl says, "I need this money," he has to send it, and he has to. Only a guy who's unattractive does that most of the times. Number 2, if you notice, let's look at girls, right? You guys have been dating. Who are some of the bitchiest and nasty attitude women you've ever met? It's always beautiful girls. Why? They don't have to be nice to you. If she looks at you and she's like, "I have nothing to benefit from this guy," she doesn't have to be nice. But who's nicer? You find that overweight women tend to be nicer. If you date an overweight girl, she will tend to buy you more gifts. She tends to try to overcompensate. And in her head, I feel like in the conscious mind of an unattractive person, they feel like they are doing their best. This is how they are loving. This is how they should love. Whereas someone who's beautiful already knows they have leverage. Dating is about leverage. They don't have to do all these things. And if they do, they really, really like you. You understand? The threshold of them doing nice things for you is much, much higher than a less attractive person. So as a guy, you need to ask yourself, do you want to put in the work to be as attractive as you can be? Or do you want to compensate by doing all these nice things that don't really work at the end of the day? these external things? Or do you just want your presence to be enough for a girl to say, you know what, I really, really like this guy, I've burning the genuine desire for him? You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work. I saw a video of there's a girl who was trending from South Africa who was saying she dated this Nigerian guy and he used her for money. They got married and then he ended up, I don't know, they ended up divorcing or something, but she was the one financing that relationship. But when you now understand some of these dynamics, you look at the girl, you see she's overweight. The guy is kind of better looking than her. She's obviously struggling in the dating market. That's just a fact that a lot of people don't want to consciously agree. And now she's dating this guy thinking that he's here, she's here. Now she compensates by funding his lifestyle, buying him the cars and doing all this. And then when it doesn't work out, now she wants to cry and say, oh, he was abusive and he didn't treat me well and I bought this for him and I did this for him. But when you're unattractive, you have to do all these things. This is why I always say you need to elevate yourself. Even as a woman, although your beauty is given, if you already have a nice body, you need to maintain it by going to the gym. If you don't and you're getting overweight, you really need to do something about it. But most people don't want to do it. That's why it's important for you to do it, because most people will never do it. Most people will find this offensive to be said.
That's not what we need more of. That kind of stuff just goes back into the dating pool and makes everybody more miserable and harder to deal with.
Now, the difference between an attractive guy and an attractive girl is like so different. An attractive girl, sometimes like they don't get guys. They get rejected because people get jealous of them or they're really intimidated or they're jealous. And it's just really hard to be an attractive girl. But for an attractive guy, literally it's like living on the red carpet with silver platters of opportunities handed to you constantly.
Well, not job opportunities. This was roughly my attractive era.
Being attractive, I'll tell you the honest truth, there is no better existence when it comes to dating than being a top echelon man. If you are really, really blessed with looks, you are never gonna struggle, bro, in dating, especially short term. You may struggle maybe with long term dating because the finances start to play a role a little bit, but never. Worse if you have money and you are really, really attractive. All the girls want you. That's the difference. Whereas with the girls, because their threshold of the guys that they want is really, really high, only a few guys qualify. Whereas they qualify for most guys. So if you are really attractive as a woman, there's more competition for the guys that you want, because there's many turns. Beauty is common amongst girls. It's just different. This girl looks this way, she's a 10. The other girl looks this way, she's a 10. This one looks this way, she's a 9. This one is this. Whereas for guys, it's a very small percentage of men who are actually attractive and actually come with money as well. That's you understand? So there's no better existence, bro. Why wouldn't you want to self-improve? With this information, tell me one reason why you wouldn't want to self-improve.
Era from here to here, and this was my net worth. And then I had nothing, and now I have internet money. But yeah, she's not wrong. This is an easier position in the market than this. It's easier to get what you want. Now, I wish we could get away from this app style of dating and back to the classics, but I don't know how we're gonna do that. This might even get worse. At least people are starting to get it. But for now, if you are not working on yourself, you are potentially giving up a lot of power. Just don't misuse it when you get it, or you'll eventually turn into me, but without the internet money.
But I mean, people are still going to misuse power. Power corrupts, and power absolutely corrupts. And beauty is power. Being attractive is power. Having money is power. Most people are still going to abuse it. That's just the truth. And that's human nature. When you look at girls, most attractive girls, what do? They use men for money. And they don't care. They brag about it on the internet. The only difference is that when you use a girl for money as a man, they create a documentary, Tinder Swindler. Girls use men for money all the time. No documentaries are made. It's more socially acceptable. But at the end of the day, very few people are going to have the power of attraction and use it responsibly to find a partner or build a healthy family structure. Most people just want whatever they can benefit. That's vain. Maybe it could be money, could just be sex, it could be anything. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying use power bad, but for me to tell you that power is not good in the dating market, then I'll be lying to you. You need to be as attractive as you can be. You need to make as much money as you can as a man. You need to network. You need to be in a leverage position to date the type of girl that you want, bro. That's the only way you're gonna be able to call shots, especially in today's marketplace. Otherwise, you're gonna be the one compromising all the time. You're gonna be the one that's looked down upon all the time. You're never gonna have the things that you want. You're never gonna date the girl that you want. And if you do, you are the one that's gonna have to compromise because she's gonna view herself as better than you. So I hope you learned something today. Till my next video, I'm out.